let's keep going.
There's no reasonable expectation of privacy on a public platform.
Right. And lawyers have said this. I've heard attorneys say this because I have attorneys working for me.
Exactly. So there's a difference between a law and a policy in your feelings.
There you go.
So
there you go.
Here's what I say. This is kind of funny in the same thing, because when you made the video about her doxing herself, she says this is against the law, but then I'm going to go out and proceed to do this and show her. See, that's the thing. Why are you saying that your privacy was invaded when you're publicly? She's been on your show she's made 3 or 4 different response videos to you.
Dude.
Things like
dude,
that.
Honestly, I stopped paying attention to her after the second bit. I was like, dude, she's wasting my time.
But the funny thing is, it's all around this. It all stems back to this whole viral video on YouTube.
Yep, that's what it is.
Here's the problem. Many women.
Now, when he's talking about the viral video on YouTube, he's referring to the video between he and Jessica, aka Miss Average at Best. All right.
See themselves as where their outcomes are going to be. That whole dying alone is really hitting women hard, because you can say 3 out of 4 of African American women marry in their lifetime, but every woman that heard that thought they would be one of the 4.
That's right, one of the 3
instead of the other 3. So this person running around, I'm this, I'm that, I'm high value, I got this and that, and it's like, well, why? If you got all this going on, what's the problem? And it's funny, but it's also kind of sad, because
it is.
It's like, lady, do you not realize you're making an utter idiot of yourself because no laws were broken?
Nope.
Now, I want to stop right there, because Kevin Samuels is saying that no laws were broken. Now, we're going to take a look at that to see whether any type of laws were broken. Now, keep in mind, right, that whenever a cause of action could possibly, whenever a cause of action could be a tort, right, for that tort to exist, that means that there are laws on the books in that particular state which give rise to that cause of action, which would be a tort. Did I explain that well, Rodney?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much, unless you want to bring up a formal definition of the word tort, so that way they can completely understand. But you pretty much summed it up,
right,
in a nutshell.
Right. I mean, I you know what, I could. All right, here we go. Tort. A tort is a wrongful act or an infringement of a right leading to civil legal liability. And that's a basic definition from Google. Now I'm taking a look at some of these other definitions. Let's see. Here go one right here. And from Britannica.com, tort in common law, civil law, and the vast majority of legal systems that derive from them, any instance of harmful behavior, such as a physical attack of one's, and then it goes on to say more. But the whole point is that a tort, right, is whenever a tort exists, there's a law that supports the tort existing in that jurisdiction. That's the point I'm trying to make. All right, so
right.
All right, so let's go back to the video.
Oh, you're on YouTube, and then so let's go over some things. Let's go over some basic, here's some basic bullet points.
Okay.
So for the class at home,
listen up.
Look up case law. Case law.
Yes, we have case law. Yes, we do. Matter of fact, the case that we're going to take a look at, right, and we're going to view this again, it's going to be Miller versus Brooks. And this is from the Court of Appeals of North Carolina. This case is from 1996. So yes, we do have case law, and we're going to take a look at it. All right. Now let's keep going.
On things like this, and you'll find that they don't make it through court.
And let me explain to them. And I'm not a lawyer, okay? I went to paralegal school.
Now let me stop right there. And I just want to deal with that statement that Kevin just made, that you have to look at case law. Let's go back to the case law. He says stuff like this do not make it through court. All right, now, make this clear for anyone who hasn't heard the first video. We take things like this and we view it objectively, meaning unbiased, right, and impartial, and no matter who the parties are. All right. Now, I made it clear in the first video that I am a fan of Kevin Samuels. However, right, we're dealing with this situation unbiased and impartial. So there is case law that exists. In this particular case, which is Miller versus Brooks, right, give rise to cause of action, right, for the allegations and claims that's being made by Jessica, aka Miss Average at Best. Now, let me scroll down and let me just get straight to the point. I'm gonna highlight this. In Renwick, right? This is what the court is saying. It's saying the majority listed 4 types of privacy torts recognized in American jurisdictions. These are, number 1, appropriation of a plaintiff's name or likeness for a defendant's advantage. Now, this is the claim that these women call themselves making. This is the claim that they're saying. Now, as far as the actual cause of action that's being used in Jessica's, aka Miss Average at Best suit, we don't know. We don't know because we do not have a copy of it. All right. So again, if anybody,
let me cut in right quick.
Yes.
Kevin did mention, and this is hearsay, but he did mention that she said her privacy was violated. So that could be one type of cause of action by which the defenses that he's raising are legitimate. But based on what the young lady was talking about, that we can't identify, that was speaking on Miss Jessica's claim, stated what you're saying,
right? Image
and likeness. So Miss Jessica could have brought several different claims. You know what I'm saying? Invasion of privacy could be one, and using her likeness or image could be another, among other claims. Right. I just wanted to bring that up. So that's what I picked up off of what he said, that she said her privacy was invaded. So he must know something that we don't know. So let's just take it as that could be part of it coming from his side of the camp. And we're gonna also use what the other young lady was saying about the name and likeness. You know what I'm saying? So now we got at least two hearsay causes of action that we can deal with.
Right. Now, I will say this though, Rodney. I personally do believe, like, as far as Jessica, there in North Carolina, the cause of action that I think that she and her attorney should use will be appropriation of her name and likeness for Kevin Samuels' advantage. Plain and simple.
That's the only way she's gonna win.
I agree.
That's the only way she's gonna win. Anything less than that, she's gonna lose.
Right.
Unless Kevin lawyers are incompetent. You know, so again, we always say based on the lawyers' competencies and what deals they make, in my opinion, behind the scenes, what settlements, the things like that matter, but based on just law and what the causes of actions could and should be in order to win versus what were made or what could be made in order to help the defendant. Sometimes you can file a lawsuit and use the wrong cause of action and help the defendant.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Help to make it easier on the defendant because you didn't state the right claim. How do I know it? Because I've done it before. You know what I'm saying? If you don't state the right claim, or if you don't state the right arguments within your claim, or if you don't have or if you can't prove the elements within your claim, you lose, whether you're right or wrong. So one thing you always say is not about what's right, it's about what you can prove.
Yep.
So not
always
only
about what you can prove,
but you have to be able to prove it according to their rules.
Right. Facts. All right. So we wanted to point out that yes, there is case law that exists where she can have a legitimate cause of action. All right, I'm gonna go back to the video.
That won't get thrown out of court.
Right. All right.
Kinda, and you guys know that story. What case law is it's a law that was put on the books that wasn't passed by legislation. So in other words, what was it? Roe v. Wade. That's probably one of the biggest, that's one of the greatest examples of case law in the history of American, the American judicial system.
All right, I'm gonna stop right there. I want to explain what case law is. Case law is
Thank you,
basically.
because he kind of. I'm glad you cut in because I didn't want to say nothing, but I'm glad you did. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say case law is basically judge-made law. That's what it is. Now, the judicial branch of our government has the duty to interpret laws. So how they interpret the law, what they interpret the law to mean is what it means. That's why case law is extremely important. Do you have anything to plug in? Right?
Yeah, and case law is the way as used in the United States, it almost establishes a tradition, right? And they base that tradition on their interpretation of the law, not only the law but facts. You know what I'm saying? So you can have a set of facts, whereas once the court make it in certain emphasis and determinations on those facts, you know, they'll lay out case law. See what Keith pulled up in that case law, he only highlighted one little sentence, but that case law is long. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of information in that case law, and all of it can be used in law. You feel what I'm saying? So it's not just that one little piece that Keith brought up. That's why you have to read the entire case law. And once you read the entire case law, then you'll be able to take quotes and interpretations and sayings out of that case law and apply it to your case and either win or defend yourself properly.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. In other words, precedent is what Rodney is saying. You know.